For me?
GP sir, your screen is coming black.
I hope it is now white.
Yes, sir, it's coming right. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Gaurav Pathak. I will be speaking today on big data concepts in analytics. So as you are aware that the big data is processing huge amount of data to gain some information. So I will try to give you an overview of that and what are the tools which are available for big data analysis and what are the major players as of now in the world who are into the big data analysis and how does big data help us in our day-to-day life. So with that I start off. I'll be covering my presentation in the following pattern: definition, characteristics, do we see big data as an opportunity? What are the problems you're facing? Some use cases and some tools. So big data is, when we say big data, it's the large volume of data, maybe structured, maybe unstructured, doesn't matter. But it is not only the large volume of data, it is the or how what we deal with that data, what information we can extract, how does that data help us in taking the decisions and the business moves by the decision makers. So analysis of big data help us in improving our performance, improving the output, improving the decisions in an organization. So it is not if we have a large volumes of data lying idle and we are not utilizing it, it will not become a big data. So how does big data as of in the today's scenario looks like? In the about 10-12 years back, we had our landline phones, we had desktops and the old age cars, which have now converted us into the smartphones. The internet has come up into a cloud based kind of an environment. The cars have upgraded slowly into the smart cars where they have been controlled through internet. The Tesla is planning to in India. MG Hector has already come. So we will be seeing in the near future, even Honda City has now with the internet access. So our cars have become smarter and smarter. So we need to have an overview of big data and how does it is affecting our life. So what is the factors in which the big data is considered? They can be the input information generated due to the retail market where you go and shopping, your mobile number is there registered and your bill and all your shopping is registered against your mobile. So that is also an information. If the company like Reliance, Grofers, they know that this individual is shopping X amount of items every month. So it will help us if they extract this information and from that they will see that this particular item is a fast moving item as compared to the other kind of item. So they will stock up the things. So that is also a kind of a big data for that particular company. Similarly for insurance, similarly for transportation, similarly for government, in education sector, health sector, media, banking, and many more. In every field, there is something big data. In data is being generated, which can be utilized, which can be analyzed for uh, generating some information, some analysis, which help us in our organization, which help us in developing, in growing, and getting better decisions in the organization. So the big data is the two factors which are most important is the speed which we are generating the data, and then whether we are matching up with the speed of collecting, storing, processing, and analyzing the data with the speed. So we have to match up. with in these two factors, the speed which is in which the data is being generated, and how fast we are analyzing it to extract a relevant information. So I'll be covering the 5 V's of big data. It is sometimes somebody says it is 3, somebody says it is 7. So generally it is 5 V's, which includes volume, velocity, variety, veracity, and the value. I'll be explaining each in the next few slides. So what is volume? So we as an organization or some company like Reliance or some company like in ICICI Bank, some company which collects the data from various sources. So it has got, if suppose it's a Reliance Mart, then it will have various outlets across India. So it will collect information from the various sources, including its business transactions, its social media, any complaints, any praises, any information, any requirement from the buyers, and from the various places. So they will collect that information. Now that information is voluminous. If you have taken an example, we have increased in a year almost, it's a Google figure which says that from 4.4 gigabytes today we are about 44 trillion gigabytes. The data is being generated altogether. So this shows that the generate volume of data which is being generated is humongous in nature, and we need something which can be fast in analyzing and giving us the best results. Variety. Now comes the variety. So now the variety is the various types of data, whether it is structured, whether it is unstructured, or whether it is like your transactional e-financial transactions, or your videos, your audios, or your normal traditional databases which we are managing. So most of the data which is in the world is unstructured, and that is the problem in the unstructured data, that for it you need to make an effort in analyzing, as it is very difficult to place them into the databases or into an Excel sheet, or so that you can have some kind of a result. Can you please hold on a minute? Hello. Sorry, they keep on disturbing. So so there are unstructured data and other kinds of information which we need to put on the table to extract the data, so that it is something it is useful to us. So so unstructured, when I say they are the audio files, the video files, the images which are roaming around onto the internet world, different types. Semi-structures are basically your XML files, your emails, your CSV files, which are in some format. And the structured is the proper data which can be easily be tabulated, which is already there in a tabulate form, which we can utilize it directly for our analysis. So what is structured data? It is the data which is text files displayed in the columns and the rows, which are easily ordered and can be processed by any data mining tool. They are the perfectly organized, and they can be easily be labeled, and they can be easily be identified, and so that it is easy for access. So what is unstructured data? The unstructured data is the one which are not structured, you can say it, but they are basically human generated and the machine generated. So now the human generated are basically the word file, the presentations, the emails, the data which is being generated on your social media platforms, your mobile data, which includes your music, video, files, location, messages, call logs, etc. And the machine generated is For examples, the imaginary videos, the traffic, the weather, the sensor information, the oil and natural gas, your traveling information, the lands, the movements, the any kind of a sense data which is generated by some machine, which can be yeah, which needs to be put in a structural format, are the machine generated unstructured data. Velocity. So the velocity is the speed. Here I am referring where at which the new data which is being generated in the internet world, and the speed, it also includes the speed at which the data is moving, because the data is moving, and because of the increase in this bandwidth from place A to place B, the movement of the data has become faster than as we have seen in earlier days. So the data, the higher the speed, the more amount of data is moving from a place A to place B. So we have to deal with that speed, so that the data can be dealt in a timely manner and we are able to extract the information. Veracity is the quality. So as we are aware that the various hashtags, various hashtags are roaming around in the social media platform, so which are cannot be relied upon. So the most important thing is that the data which is there in the internet world, how reliable it is, how much reliable can, how much quality, how much trustworthiness of that data is there. Is that data accurate? Will that data give on analysis give me a result which will help in improving a process, or taking in which will help the management of an organization to take a decision in a right direction? So that is also a question mark. So so I just want to say that the quality is important, because if the irrelevant data will not give me, or the trustworthiness data is, if the data is not trustworthiness, then it will not give me the quality of the decision, or the quality, or it will not help me in improving my decision, or in my performance in the organizational performance. So what is the value? Value refers the ability to turn our data into some kind of a value. Value here means whether I'm able to and to convert and use that kind of a data into uh, something which is useful to me. So which is of some value to me. To invest and interpret the data on a system-wide scale, it is important to ensure that insights that are generated are on accurate data and lead to measurable improvements at the end of the day. That is, the data which we are working, that data should help us in improving our processes. So big data, why it is important? It is important because it helps in reducing the timelines. It makes my decisions smart and fast, and we can, based on the results, we can develop new products or new strategies, and it helps in reducing the cost infrastructure which is there, or cost expenditure which is there. So, there are problems with the big data also. That is the storing, because of the amount of data which is being generated. Second is processing, because there are different varieties of data. There are different types of data, because the data is not coming in one thing. If it is only coming in pictures, so it is easy if it is coming in pictures. But there are multiple formats in which the data is there. So processing each type of data is with in a that too in a humongous quantity is again a challenge for us. And processing at a speed with, and matching up with the speed at which the data is being generated is also a major challenge in the big data kind of a scenario. So with that, I come to the analysis. So I have told you what is big data, what type of V's are there, what is the problems with the big data. So now, how to analyze those data? So for the big data, the analytic is a process of examining large data sets containing various types of data. What is the aim? The aim is to uncover the hidden patterns, to to find out unknown correlations, to find out market trends, to find out customer preferences and other useful information with an aim to improve our processes. That is the overall aim of the big data analytics. Some of the use cases of the big data are the sentiment analysis. So similar example, using the data, if the Reliance or some growers get some business intelligence and give the products as per the sentiments which have been extracted from the data, it will help in improving the business and give him better results. So it is basically so that sentiment analysis will help in improving the customer experience, then revitalize the brand, and then it also help in gaining the advantage as far as its competitors are concerned. So it is basically to sentiment analysis is the ability to mine multi-structured data from the variety of sources into a single database and extract the sentiments to work so that we can enhance the experience, we can enhance the decisions, we can improve upon our decisions. Customer reviews. 360 customer review. It's offer a deep understanding in a customer behavior and its motivation. Why the customer is behaving in such a pattern? Why? What are the motivations behind it? So these kind of review will require data from the social media, various mobile devices, where data collecting centers, so that a perspective of a customer can be generated using this kind of analysis. Fraud detections, ad fraud detections. Require data of the current fraud strategies by recognizing their patterns, their behaviors. It shows it will be easy with if this kind of analysis will help in easy and fast detection of the frauds, and it can help in curtailing or stopping it before it is spread into the entire world. So all these detection, this will help me in it will help the pure mass, the common persons, in getting trapped by the various fraudsters. Ad hoc analysis. It is basically the analysis over the data which is requested or required, and it will help in the effort to gain greater insight the customer by analyzing the relevant data only which is required. So here we can say that if I want to do analysis on a particular kind of a scenario, then ad hoc analysis can be done on that particular scenario, and the relevant information can be extracted from those unstructured sources, both external as well as internal. Clickstream analysis helps in improving the user's experience by analyzing the customer behavior, their company's offering, so that it has a better insight into the customer segment. With big data, clickstream analysis help to personalize the buying experience, getting an improved return on the customer visit. Basically, it helps in improving the business, improving the customer experience, in improving the overall ambience of the organization, so with the aim to gain profit. in case you want to go for a micro segmentation, provides more tailored and the targeted messaging for the smaller groups. This requires the personalized approach, and and for the analysis of the large set of data collected through the online interaction, social media and other sources. So when we go, it is like these TV channels and do these predictions related to the elections results. So they go meet the customers, their interaction, their social media handles, and then want to give as a prediction that in this election some kind of a situation is building up for a party or for a B party. So this is what this is, a micro segmentation kind of a thing. So with that, I come to the open source big data tools. Now, a lot about analysis has happened. So now, what all tools are available in the open source domain? So the most common is and the most popular is the Hadoop. So it's a big data tool for analyzing large volumes of data. It, it is a Java-based programming framework, and it enables us in processing and analyzing the large data sets which are available for analysis. Second is the high performance computing cluster. It is it is also a big data analysis tool. It's a total package for data profiling, cleansing, job scheduling, and automation. It is was released in the 2011. Others are Cloudera and the Amazon Web Service. The Cloudera is the first commercial offering of the Hadoop. So now, being Hadoop is the most common and the most popular, it is so a few words about Hadoop. It's an open source framework that allows you to store and process data in a distributed environment across the clusters of computers using simple programming models. It is designed to scale up from single server to the thousands of machines, each offering local computation. So basically, it is a framework where you can analyze the data sets in a multi-servers kind of an environment. So and extract results what all is required. So these are the modules of the Hadoop. They are the common DFS, yarn, and MapReduce. The HDFS is the distributed file system that provides the high throughput access to the application data. And yarn is a framework for job scheduling and cluster resource management. And MapReduce is for the parallel processing of the large data, so that the results and the analysis which is being generated can be utilized, can be presented to the user in a much as a, is a, in a destined or in a required form. Some of the other big data analytic tools are HD Insights, SkyTree, Talent, Spark, Elasticsearch. So I just want to talk about the Spark and the Elasticsearch. The Spark is the open source big data analysis tool. It offers 80 high-level operators that make it easy to build parallel apps. It used in the wide range of organizations to process large data. And Elasticsearch is a JSON-based big data elastic engine. It is a distributed elastic engine for solving numbers of use cases, offering horizontal scalability, maximum reliability, and easy management. As far as the cybersecurity application framework is concerned, Apache Metron is the big data cybersecurity application framework that enables single view of diverse streaming security data to scale at scale to aid security operation centers in a rapidly detecting and responding. So whenever there is a SOC which is functional, so this kind of a framework will help in processing the data and so that the any attacks or any kind of a threats which are being targeted onto an organization can be detected, and the results can be presented to SOC so that the necessary remedial actions can be done by the various stakeholders who are responsible for the various kind of activities. Kibana is one of the plugins of the Elasticsearch for the which can be where users can create and plot and the pie charts and so it is basically Kibana help us in visualization of the data sets, so in some format dashboard, so that it can help in presentation to the management regarding the activities and how the data is being displayed. So these are some graphs of the Kibanas where you can have a pie chart, you can have a graph, so that it is can be easily Elasticsearch data can be easily be displayed. Some comparisons regarding the Hadoop and Spark and big data analytics tools. It's Hadoop provides us the batch processing. Spark is good for the batch and the stream processing. What is batch processing and what is stream processing? It is very clear from the name. Spark is basically it's a hybrid kind of a framework, and it helps it speeds up the batch processing via high memory computations and processing optimization. Hadoop it fails in the real-time data processing, while Spark helps us in the to process the real-time data. So, Hadoop is have a better security feature because it supports authentication. Spark, as of now, is only through a password. It's only authentication support through a shared secret. It is a password authentication, which is not as secure as kind of Hadoop infrastructure. Since both the as far as the cost implications concerned, they both are open source tools. So the cost is not much, but as far as the consumption of the hardware, Spark uses large amount of RAM, and as compared to, and so the RAMs are more utilized here. So that is why you can say that since RAMs are more expensive, so the Spark cost factor is higher as far as the Hadoop is concerned. Now comes the Elasticsearch comparison between the Elasticsearch and the Hadoop. It is a Hadoop is a map-reduced query framework. Is robust, but it is enough to handle any data aggregation. However, Elasticsearch, it can run it can run on a smallest kind of a data set also. So what are the algorithms which are used in the big data? They are your association, classification, cluster, crowdsourcing, regression, visualization. Basically, all these algorithms are run to for providing a market based analysis, customer buying decisions, segmenting customers into various categories, collecting data from various communities, forecasting based upon the experience of the previous data, and overall it will help in improving the analysis of the big help in the experience of the customer base. The top companies are Google, Microsoft, which are into the big data. In addition to Amazon and Tableau, they are also into the kind of a big data platforms. With big data being open source and the machine learning, predictive analysis, and the big data intelligent apps coming up, and the intelligence security, and with IoTs coming up in the near future. So this big data analysis will be very much required in various fields, and slowly the data which is being generated by the government organizations also, we will be in near future we will be utilizing big data to the most extent in analyzing our improving our performance, what the other private companies are presently doing. That's all I want to say about today's session. I will like to finish it here and say thank you to all, to Anupamji especially, because I know him in person, and I would like to close my session here today. Thank you very much.